Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available Christmas 2026 and a half BC the album, Dad. Dad, shimmy, shimmy, AF, shimmy, shimmy, AF, shimmy, shimmy. Rock on gold dust. Anyway, woman, Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night, and wouldn't you love to love her? Boost! I think I've gotten about 10 hours of sleep in the last week. I'm rather delirious, and I'm really rather delirious late at night. So, Today, I sat down. I know this video is kind of like all over the place, isn't it, so far? People are like, what is going on here? What's about to happen? We're completely unsure. I'm completely unsure of what's about to happen. In fact, we're already almost a minute into this video, and I don't even know if I'm going to do a really shady-ass video or if I'm going to do a rant video today. I don't even know. We're going to try here in just a second and see which way I go. So the other night, somebody DM'd me, and they said, I get a lot of these DMs, but people will request me doing rant videos. And so, oh, by the way, Jazz sent me these lip balms, so that I thought that I would try them today on here. It was so nice of her. Thank you so much, Jazz. So I thought that I would try these. Actually, I'm going to try the rose one. This is the Nivea 24-hour moisture soft rose. But I got a DM from somebody the other day, and they're like, you haven't done a rant video in a really, really long time. So for those of you that do not know what a rant video is, a rant video is where I rant about things. It is. No, it's like it's okay. So people don't really understand sometimes that I'm like joking in the rant videos. I'm joking, but I'm being kind of serious at the same time. I'm jokingly ranting about things. Like I'm going over the top with them. I'm kind of like really just hardcore venting, but like in a really shady fashion and joking about it. About things that I probably don't take that seriously, right? Like, for example, putting Christmas decorations out in August, something like that, right? But then, like, I get really heated about it, you know? Which is kind of how I can get if I'm talking to a friend. It's kind of like this, right? Like, if you're, like, at a party, I mean, I don't really go to parties, so that's probably not really a good analogy. Hold on, let me put this on. This soft rose. Soft rose. Ooh, that's nice. Is it, is it really strong? Is the soft rose really strong? Hold on a second. No, that's nice. Ooh, I like how that feels. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being a friend, Rose. Oh my God, that worked together so well. So it's kind of like this. It's kind of like, okay, you know, if you're like at a party, you know, I'm just like a hangout party, not like a dancing party, you know. I haven't actually been to a dancing party in a long time. You know, like when you're at a party where there's like a food table. That's usually where I hang out, is a food table, you know. But if I go to a party, which I very rarely ever go to parties, but let's just say if I go to a party, and I'm like sitting there and I'm talking to like an old friend that I haven't seen in a while, and she's like going on and on, I'm like, yeah, right? Like totally, you know. And you're having one of those kind of conversations, right? And then she says something about like, and did you see that like Costco has their Christmas decorations out already? And then I'm like, I know, like, can you believe it? Like Christmas decorations in August. And then you kind of go off together and like, you're just like, oh my God. And then they had snow globes, like life-size snow globes. And she's like, and a blow up Snoopy doll. And you guys are both going crazy. And then you just kind of like start laughing together because it's so ridiculous. And then you stand up and you look at her and you go, hey, I'm going to go inside and get another drink. Do you want another Diet Squirt? And she's like, I don't drink Diet Squirt. I'm like, oh yeah, nobody drinks Diet Squirt anymore. But that wouldn't really happen because I don't even go to parties. But that's kind of what a rant is like, right? So anyway, somebody was asking me the other day to do a rant video. I think that's probably the best explanation I've ever given for a rant video. So somebody the other day was like, I miss you doing the rant videos. Would you please do a rant video? And I was like, I kind of miss doing rant videos too. They kind of take me, you know, out and make me laugh a little bit and all that kind of stuff. And so I was like, yeah, I can do a rant video. Like that would be fun. So that night I started putting together stuff on like this list of like this rant that I was going to do about something to do with Facebook. I actually have notes. I have notes in my phone. I do. Not on a steno pad, which I prefer. I prefer taking notes in a steno pad, which is where like, you know, it's at the top, whatever. I like the idea of the stenographer type, you know, but anyway. But we don't, the thing is that we don't use notebooks anymore? I do. I have like 14,000 of them downstairs, and Post-it notes. There's like hairs on my, is that from Jaclyn Hill's lipstick still? I love notebooks, but we don't really need notebooks anymore because we just put everything in our phone. Like, I have a calendar book where I write down my appointments, but like everybody that I know, they just look at me like I'm crazy. Like my cousin Caroline and Alex, everybody, and Tanya. They're like, why don't you just put that in your phone? Isn't it so weird that like we call it a phone, but it's really not a phone. It's really like an everything is what we should call it. Can you hand me my everything? Because like you keep everything in your phone. Like, do you even call people on your phone? Most people don't even call people on their phone. Most people that have cell phones that are on their cell phones like 24 hours a day, they text on their cell phones. I mean, you don't even really need to text anymore because like everything that you possibly want to get across to somebody as far as how you're feeling, you can communicate with just an emoji. So you don't even need to really text anymore. But most of the people that I know, they'll be like holding their phones, which they're constantly on 24 hours a day. And then they'll say, oh, I don't really like to talk on the phone. Okay. But this is a telephone, right? Like if you took me back to high school, like when these did not exist, okay. I mean, definitely not in this form. But I can remember going to Epcot Center, and when I would go to Epcot Center, well, I went once in high school and once when I was younger. And I remember there was that one place where, like the animatronic things were moving around. Then they had that, I remember it was like this boat. It's a Small World? Maybe it's a Small World and that was Disney World, not Epcot, but I think it was Epcot. But anywhere, there's this one room that you go by and it shows like the kitchen to these people's house. And they're like, in the future, in the year 2300 or 1000 or something like that, everything, it's kind of like the Jetsons, will be run by these computerized things. And they showed somebody like at this computer and like turning on the lights. I mean, we have all that now, right? People don't make phone calls anymore. Anyway, the moral to the story is call somebody. I mean, you have a phone, so why wouldn't you? Because you don't like to talk on the phone, then why do you have a phone? Because it's your everything, it's not your phone, right? We shouldn't even call them phones anymore. We should come up with a totally different name for them, Tablets? Okay, well, that's just weird. So anyway, so people were asking me to do, somebody asked me to do, all the time people ask me, they're like, I miss the rant videos, and so I started making notes. Well, I went over because I was going to put on my Instagram story, the last time I did a rant, I was like, tell me what your complaints are, and I'll respond to them, right? And so I was going to put that up on Instagram, but I noticed that I got a couple more DMs. So I was going through my DMs and somebody said, I would love to know the funny questions that you think in your head, like when you're just randomly thinking about influencers. I was like, oh, that's funny because I was actually going to do that video like 6 months ago. Not that exact video, but something like it, right? Like questions that I still have. I think I even mentioned it over here, which by the way, I'm probably going to take the next 2 days off because Sunday is the True Crime Book Club and I have a lot of TV shows to watch this weekend and I'm really exhausted. So for the next 2 days, I'm probably not going to film a video over here. I might film videos on my other channels, but I doubt it. Definitely on my vlog though. On my vlog, I vlog every single day. So anyway, so I was like, oh, this will be interesting. Like I should go in and just look at somebody's picture and just randomly think of a question that I have. So should I start with that? It's really shady though. I mean, it's really shady. It's going to get me in some trouble because here's the thing with the rant videos, right? And here's the thing with my, totally honest thoughts is that people still won't get it's a joke because people get so upset about things. People are, somebody the other day, they got so upset about one of the influencers that I was talking about and I went and they've left 98 comments on my videos and they're all just scathing, right? Always about this one person. And so I was like, who is this person? And so I went to their, because you can look at somebody's YouTube account and they have videos posted and stuff like that. And it's a 12-year-old child. And I was like, that has videos. I was like, okay, first of all, my videos are marked not made for children. And you've left 98 comments in defense of this person that's rather problematic towards children. So anyway, I think it's time for you to find a new home. So anyway, but people get really upset. They don't understand that my rants are jokes. And I think that part of the reason is because they just probably, I don't know, are super, they're just, I don't know, they are obsessively in love and would I don't know, I don't know, probably eat shit off this person's ass. I don't know what they would do, but they're so defensive about these people or they don't understand that it's a joke. So it's I can't really say anything anymore about people because I can't, but I will because I choose to. And this is my life and this is my channel and the channel is called Peter Monn. So anyway, I think I'm going to start today with what I think about influencers, and then we'll go into the rant. Should we do that? Should we end with the rant? We'll go into the influencers. I don't have that many things I have to say about influencers. But these are kind of 4 a.m. in the morning while I'm watching Welcome to Plathville because I finished the season. Did you watch the season? Oh my God. Okay, so it ended kind of on I don't know. Anyway, they had a concert. They had a concert. I think the last song they played was something like, "Will the circle be unbroken?" I don't know why I'm so attracted to all these religiosity shows. I don't know why. Like Sister Wives, the Plath from Plathville. I mean, they're none of them the Plaths really anymore. But anyway, maybe I'll save that video for my Peter Watches TV channel. Oh yeah, I screenshot something about that. I should do that today. But anyway, this is kind of how my mind works in real time. So you guys are kind of seeing, like, this is Peter Monn with, like, no coffee, no focus, and this is how I work at 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm watching the Welcome to Plathville. Welcome to my life. Okay, so, and you also understand that this is kind of, like, very much, hold on, my fan's the wrong way, shady jest, like, this is supposed to be funny, right? Like, this is, let's not take this too seriously. So the other night, these were questions that I had, things about influencers I wrote down here. I have two different notes in my notes app. I have a rant called Please Don't Unfriend Me. Okay, I have lots of notes on this. See? I don't have a steno pad. I wish I had a steno pad, but I have an everything. I mean, some people call this a phone, but I call it everything, because people don't really use it for the phone anymore. I do. I call my friends. But anyway, so I have the rant. We're going to do that in a second. But then I have things about influencers, questions about your favorite influencer. So I have some questions, okay? But first of all, my question is, why are my reading glasses always so dirty? Do you remember, like, when you were growing up as a kid, and you would go to, like, your librarian? Like, a librarian was known for always having reading glasses around her neck on, like, that necklace, which you can still get, but a lot of people put them in their hair, too. I never do that, right? But I have so many pairs of reading glasses. Like, look, here are the ones that I usually wear, but then I also, these are, like, my bedroom reading glasses, and these are, like, my bathroom reading glasses that I have up here from the bathroom, but I have 3 pairs of reading glasses. But why are they, I mean, other than the fact that I touch them all over the place like that, but why are reading glasses always dirty? Like, you always have to clean them. Glasses aren't like that, which, by the way, have you seen my new glasses? Do you want to see them? They came. I showed them on my, did I show them over here? I don't know if I did or not, but I showed them over on my vlog. I know this video is all over the place. I don't really care. I wasn't even going to film a video over here today. Here are my new what do we think? I think they're kind of cute. So anyway, those are my new glasses. Straight from Ray-Ban. Okay, here's my old glasses from Warby Parker. I did not love these. My husband thought they were cute. I didn't like them. Vote for which ones you like better. I know everybody's going to vote for the Warby Parker ones, but you know what? The Ray-Ban ones are the ones that I'm going to wear, so it doesn't really matter what you care. But anyway, you vote for whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So, here is my questions about influencers. And so I just kind of, like, went through some of these questions I, like, had on an old list that I made, like, 6 months ago. So I, like, looked up that list in my notes app, which, I mean, I think I have something like, how many notes apps do I have in here? Hold on a second. Notes apps do I have? I have 362 notes in my notes app. Okay, so things about questions. My first one was that I started just kind of, like, looking through these people. Have you guys seen Shane Dawson lately? I have not, like, looked at Shane Dawson's podcast or his videos or his Instagram or anything lately. Incidentally, he still follows me, which I think is interesting. He probably just doesn't know that he follows me and forgot to unfollow me. But anyway, Shane Dawson, you are looking really healthy. Shane Dawson looks good. I'm, like, really, really impressed. I mean, everybody's talking about Nikocado Avocado. Why is nobody talking about Shane Dawson? Shane Dawson is inspiration to me. He looks fantastic, you guys. I was super, super impressed. And so I was, like, looking through his Instagram, and he and Rylan just seem like they're having so much fun, you know? And anyway, but there's, like, the scene, and, like, he's holding one of his sons, and he's, like, in the store and whatever. It's a really cute picture of him. I have to say, in consideration, and I know when I say this, some people will say, well, they did an entire dedicated video, and if they did, I don't know, I didn't see that. But I love that they are, a lot of people were speculating if they were going to turn their channel into, like, a family channel. I said I wasn't sure, but I thought that Rylan would probably be the one behind that saying, no, we're not going to do that. I think it's really, at least at this point, everyone, I mean, to put a picture out of you and your child in a store, like, people put pictures of, I said this in my video yesterday, it's like, people put 500 pictures of their grandkids up on Facebook, okay? I think Shane Dawson can put one picture of him. I think it's actually sad in the world that Shane Dawson lives in, that he doesn't feel like he can post a picture with he and his child because he's going to get called out so much. But it's a really cute picture, so you guys go over there and look at it. But I was thinking to myself, so for all those over here that come for me and say, you're always so shitty to Shane, you're so jealous of Shane, that was like a compliment sandwich, as Gabby Hanna used to call it. You surround the shade in compliments. I just gave the man a bunch of compliments, okay? And actually defended him and said he should be able to show his kids on camera because everybody else in the world does, but because he's a public figure, he can't, because then people will say he's monetizing their kids, okay? It's not like Colleen Ballinger where every video in your thumbnail has your kid. He's holding his kid in the store. It's a cute picture. Anyway, so, and I'm very happy for Shane and Rylan. I know people think that I'm, like, bitter to the earth and all this kind of stuff with these people. I'm not, okay? I don't even follow any of them. And I sure as hell don't follow each each other, and I don't follow their brothers, and I don't follow their sisters, and their mothers-in-laws, and their best friends that maybe have been on video with them one time. That is so weird to me. That is so stalkerish when somebody does that. Anyway, that's so weird to me. Because then you have to go in, and you have to see, why is this person following, like, my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law that I've, like, only ever been in one video, maybe, and I've talked about them. Why are they following them? And then you go in and you look, and then you have to kind of, like, look and see who this person is, and you have to find them on Facebook, and then you find out, like, you know, it's like, you see where their husbands live and where their husband, and it's like, you don't want to follow all that, but you kind of look into their life a little bit, and it's just kind of like real weird and spooky, because you're like, why is this person, like, they're like following every person in your life, and they're kind of obsessing over you, and it's kind of like really weird. And so then you're like, okay, well, I could do something about this, but like, I don't really feel like it, you know, because I just read this book called There Is No Ethan, about these women that were catfished. No, true story. It is so good. But did you know that it's like well within your right to like contact family members and all this kind of stuff of people that are like crazily like, anyway, so, but you know what, I don't have time to go to, like, Northern Europe or New Jersey or, you know, North Carolina and things like that right now, so I just don't have time for that, so, and a lot of other places, too, but I just don't have time for that, but I think that that's so weird, you know, like that, so I don't even follow these people, so, but anyway, I think that Shane Dawson should be able to come out and, you know, talk about his family whenever he wants and stuff like that, and be able to show pictures of his kids. I think that's nice. So, when you hear what I'm about to say, okay, because it's kind of funny, I feel like I have to preface everything now. I can't talk about anybody. Every other drama commentary channel can talk about anybody. They actually come harder for the people than I do, and people don't like it when I do it. I was so fair about Robbie DeChristie the other day, and people were like, oh my God, you're coming for Robbie. I was so fair to Christie the other day. I don't know if y'all are watching the TikToks, but people are shredding the gal on TikTok, okay? Go talk about them. Obviously, it's a Peter issue. It's not a Robbie DeChristie issue, okay? That's obviously what the issue is, and that's very obvious to me. So anyway, I was like looking at this picture of Shane Dawson holding this kid, and I thought, you know, it's interesting because at some point, these kids are going to get to the age where they're going to want to, like, go to amusement parks, you know, and things like that. And I thought, what is he going to say when his kids ask him, like, hey, Daddy, can we go to the circus? And he's going to be like, I left the circus. I mean, how's he going to explain that to his kids? So that was my first question. But anyway, my next question is, do you think James Charles, like, you know, like, he goes out a lot, and he always shows himself, like, you know, like, taking a picture of himself, a selfie, like, holding, like, a little purse. Like, what does he keep in that little purse? I mean, obviously, his Rolodex of all of his, like, friends that he contacts in his DMs, he obviously keeps that Rolodex in there. But then, and obviously, like, a little picture of a birthday cake that he can, like, bring out to all of his friends. Be like, I did it at your birthday dinner. I mean, probably that, too. He keeps in those little purses and stuff like that. He always carries that little, like, little purse, you know? But it kind of looks like Claire's Boutique or Rue 21 from, like, 1992. Do you know the purse I'm talking about? But it's like, do you think he, like, talks to his, like, you know when you talk to your girlfriend on the phone and you're, like, going to, like, some event or something like that, and you're like, oh my God, what are you gonna wear? And she's like, I don't know, like, I'm kind of thinking a pantsuit, and you're like, yeah, I was gonna wear a dress, but it's kind of hot outside, so I, like, want to wear, like, a short sleeve dress. Do you think that, like, his girlfriends call him and they're like, James, what are you gonna wear to this event? And he's like, I don't know, like, I was gonna wear, like, a really baggy, wide leg pair of jeans with, like, some Adidas high tops and, like, a spandex halter top and, like, a little tiny purse. But I don't know, what do you think? And his friends were like, well, you kind of wore that last time. And he's like, yeah, or maybe my chaps. I mean, do you think those are the conversations that James Charles has with his friends? I don't know. But anyway, they're not your friends if they let you dress that way. I'm just going to say right now, okay? I don't have a worst best list, dress list, but if I did, James Charles would always be number one on it, okay? Then I was like thinking about Jeffree Star, and I was like, you know, do you remember when Jeffree Star said that he didn't want any more, like, this one's kind of lame, I'll admit to that. But do you remember when Jeffree Star came out and he said he didn't want any more name brand things? He didn't want any more, like, he was like, I'm getting rid of all of it. I don't want to. And I even made a video, and people were like, he didn't say he was getting rid of all of it. He didn't say he was getting rid of all of it. Well, he kind of did. He kind of said he was over it, right? He kind of said he was over it. Followed by him going to the Louis Vuitton mansion and being invited there and going to... He kind of did say that, right? But what I want to know is, did Jeffree Star, like, just trade in all of his luxury items in the pink vault? And he just mentioned the pink vault in that song. Hey, how are ya? Hey, how are ya? Hey, how are ya? Hey, how are ya? All my old friends, career, dead. Those are great lyrics, by the way. Rock on, gold dust woman. Take your silver spoon. Dig your grave. See, that's how you get to some people, okay, Jeffrey? You need to take a note out of Stevie's book. That's how you get to somebody, okay? Gold dust woman. Take your silver spoon that you've been handed since birth. Dig your grave. Do you get it, girl? Okay, see? Old friend's career dead with a skull emoji. Honey, I got enough skull emojis that you done texted me through the years about Laura Lee and Manny and things like that, and talking about where you go keep their ashes and stuff like that. Girl, that is old, okay? You must have written those lyrics in, I don't know, in a text message to somebody, and then you pulled that text message and wrote a song. Hi, how are you? Anyway, but do you think he traded in that pink vault and all that shit for one pink robe? Because that's all he lives in anymore is that one pink robe. Or a tracksuit. Or a tracksuit. Hi, how are you? Tracksuit and a updo by Hair by Jay. And are Tina and Jake Paul still married? I'm just wondering. I asked that in like my last video they did like this. Are Tina Mojo and Jake Paul? I know Tina Mojo's dating somebody else, but that probably they wouldn't care about that. But are they still married? Because they like sold about that wedding. Do you remember people had to like get their money back and stuff because they were like watching the wedding online and stuff like that, which I think is kind of weird anyway. I mean, like the Golden Bachelorette's on right now. Oh my God, I love it so much. I'm rooting for Jordan, Mark, or Chalk. Chalk, Jordan, or Mark are my three favorites. But anyway, did you guys watch the wedding? Journey played at the wedding of the Golden Bachelor and Teresa. But then Teresa realized that he was just trying to get her money and like she divorced him like a month later. But anyway, what was I going to say? But you didn't even have to buy tickets to watch the wedding of the Golden Bachelor. It was just for free on ABC or CBS or whatever it's on. I don't know. I got every streaming app in the world. But anyway, so, are they still married? Are Tina and Jake Paul still married? And my better question yet, though, is does anybody know where they were registered at? Were they registered at Pottery Barn and Crate and Barrel, or did they just register at Target? I kind of want to know. Like, I would love to see the registry of Tina Mojo and Jake Paul. That would be really interesting to me. Well, at that point, they probably just like registered at like a cannabis shop in Rolex, right? I don't know. Anyway, but that's one of my questions. Okay, my next question is, what happened to Bella Thorne? Is Bella Thorne still out there? Is she still making music? Is she still acting in movies? I don't really care even if she is. Okay, I don't know. Here's my other question, and I know this is going to really piss some people off, so just pull it in, okay, real quick. Okay, if you're a Colleen Ballinger super fan, this is probably the time to leave. You won't be able to handle this, okay? Or if you are going to stay, then I hope that you have a extra large box of Depends because you're probably going to shut yourself. So here's my question about Colleen Ballinger, okay? People keep on saying, you say you're not going to make... Well, here's my one video for Colleen Ballinger. I think this one part probably adds up to just a video a month. Do you think that Colleen Ballinger dresses up like Miranda sings and makes her kids and her husband watch her do shows, live shows in her own house? And then after the live shows, do you think her kids and her husband and her all get on separate computers and they get in a group chat together? I'm just wondering, like, do you think they do? You know, or do they just have rock concerts? I'm just asking. Or do they just have rock concerts? Does she do live Miranda shows at her house? You know, her whole family probably comes over there too. She probably makes them clap for her, right? She's like, I gave you a career. I paid your bills. Clap for me. And then they're like, oh my God, a Cheeto joke. And then her sister's like, no, Colleen, I don't want to put my hand down your pants. And she's like, do it, or I'm not paying your rent. She's like, okay. And then she's like, okay, now we all go into separate rooms and we get into group chats. I mean, do you think that's what she does? I don't know. But anyway, we won't ever know because she's never come out and addressed anything. So, and what happened to Bella Thorne? Did I already say that? I did. Bella Thorne. What happened to Bella Thorne? Is Tina Mojo still engaged to Bella Thorne? Or is she still married to Jake Paul? I don't know. But anyway, I'm so confused. Okay, and here's another good question that I have. Oh, this is going to really piss some people off, all right? I know that Robbie DeChristie can make homemade bread, and she can make homemade vanilla. But can she make really good lemonade out of those lemons that life handed her? And is it bitter or is it sweet? That's what I want to know. I know that one just pissed off of me. You ever went over somebody's head? Or people are just... So let me say it again for you, okay? So, Robbie DeChristie has lately been showing that she makes a lot of homemade bread and like homemade vanilla and stuff on her channel, which I think is great. I wish I could do those things. I mean, I don't really care. I got a bread maker downstairs if I want to make bread. In fact, I don't even want to make bread. I'll just buy bread, you know? She's talking about it's the best sliced bread in the entire... I don't care. Wonder. I'll buy Wonder or whatever's available. Whatever's cheapest and I like the most at the moment. But anyway, actually, I really like that Dave's bread. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The multigrain bread? Anyway, that vanilla I hardly even cook, so I don't need box loads of vanilla, homemade vanilla. What would you even do with all that? But because she's into all this homemade stuff, I just was wondering, you know, Is she able to make homemade lemonade with all of the lemons that life has handed her lately? I'm just wondering, you know, because they say when life hands you a lemon, make lemonade. So is her lemonade bitter or is it sweet? I don't know. And my last question is, did Charlie really bite his finger? I don't think so. I don't. I do not think that Charlie bit his finger. I don't. Did they come out years later and say he did or he didn't or what happened to him? I don't know. Now, should we get into the rant? Because that probably pissed off everybody. And I don't really care. I'm kind of in my I don't really give a fuck mood anymore. I'll just tell you that right now. He's in his I don't really give a fuck mood anymore. You're right. And you better watch out. You're right, okay? Because I'm getting ready to write some Christmas letters to lots of families this year. Just saying. I haven't written Christmas cards and Christmas letters in years. But I think this might be the year that I send out some Christmas letters. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, if you don't, you might want to figure that one out. Okay. So, you know, like I said, I took some notes on here. This is like kind of 2 videos in one. I took some notes over here, not on a steno pad, like I said, because, you know, I use steno pads. When I was a little kid, I loved that word steno pad because I always wanted to be like a secretary because I'd seen the movie 9 to 5 too many times with Dolly Parton. And I was laying in bed late last night. I was like, what was Dolly Parton? Like, I could remember her in the movie because I love that scene when she goes in there and she's like, I got a gun out there in my purse. And she's like, I've been thinking about for a long time, what's the line? And I could change you from a rooster to a hen with one shot, and don't think I can't do it either. And I was like, what is her name? And I was like, Dora Lee. Her name was Dora Lee. So I always wanted to be like a surly secretary. You know, I wanted to be a teacher too, because then you get all the worksheets at the end of the school year, but I kind of always wanted to be like a secretary, you know, like Dora Lee in 9 to 5. And so I was like, okay, well, if you're going to be a secretary, you got to have a steno pad. So then I'd always ask my mom to buy me steno pads. Well, I'm still obsessed with steno pads. But I didn't take notes in a steno pad. I took notes in my notes app because this is really a steno pad. This is really just like $1,000 steno pad. It's true, it is, okay? It's like people don't make phone calls on it, you know? I don't know. So anyway, waste of money, I think. But anyway, okay. What is a rant? Oh, I already explained that, didn't I? Okay, so let's get into this. So I was going to do this whole rant about these Facebook posts, okay? And I've talked about this on here before because I'm really, really tired. First of all, where am I at on time? I should probably check that before I get into this rant because you know how I get real heated. And then I'm really, really tired of people. Okay. You know, listen, I've been sober for over 29 and a half years. If you can handle your spirits, drink, okay? If you can smoke the ganj, do you, okay? It ain't my place to judge somebody else, do you? But if you are having a couple drinks in the evening and then you're getting on Facebook and you're posting a picture of your candle on the patio, and then you're wanting to give a dissertation on philosophy of life on Facebook, then maybe you need to take a look. And no, I'm not talking about my cousin Caroline, but maybe I should. I always tell her I gotta get her digs in. I always, whenever I see her, I'm always like, Carol, I gotta give you a hard time about your pictures. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I love your patio. But anyway, so that was my little joke to Caroline. None of that's true. None of that's true. That's a joke. This is a rant video. But no, true story. I see these things come up because, you know, I'm up late watching my TV shows. And I see these things come up. And the person will be like, and I'm talking about anything, okay? I know that we are like months away from the election. I'm not talking about just things to do with the election, okay? But I do think that there are some people that probably need to I mean, it's like, I'm kind of worried about, like, some people. Like, there's this person that I know, and God love her, she, like, posts so many things, I mean, online, and I'm like, I'm kind of worried that you're gonna have a heart attack. Like, I really am. Like, I'm really worried that you're gonna have a heart attack. And then, like, you can tell, because she'll post, like, 10 things within 2 hours, and then she'll say, flood Facebook with art. And I'm like, okay, this is your moment. I don't know if that's, like, something that somebody told you to do, like, when you're, like, overwhelmed, but, like, maybe it's not flood Facebook with art. Maybe it's step off Facebook. Okay, I think there's some people that just can't really handle being on Facebook. I really do. Like, you're kind of consumed with it too much. Like, you're on it all the time and talking about it. Like, I'm really not on Facebook that much, you know? I mean, I have a true crime book club over on Facebook. I don't really get on Facebook that much, but every once in a while, I'll roll through it, okay? And part of the reason why, like, I don't like to get on the Facebook is because it's constantly these sponsored posts. I figured out what it was. I talked about this in a video recently, but it's constantly all these sponsored posts, right? So it's these groups, because on Instagram, it'll say like, do you ever see this on Instagram? It'll show you like one of your own pictures, and it'll say, you should boost this picture. I don't care about that. I'm not making any money off my Instagram. My Instagram's to post pictures of my things that I want to post. My pictures of Boo Radley, he's sleeping over here next to me, those pictures get more views this is going to stop in just a second. Hold on a second. Those pictures over there of Boo Radley, they get more views than anything else. I don't need to be boosting my Instagram. I don't really care. But what that tells you is people are boosting posts on Instagram. People are buying things on Instagram. People are sponsoring posts on Facebook. And it's not social media anymore. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. See? Do you want another diet squirt? See, this is a rant. Do you get it? Okay. But that's the true story. It's all about money. So everybody's like, oh, and everybody uses these words. Now, listen, I don't need to be boosting no posts on Instagram. I'm very thankful for those of you out there that follow me, okay? Now, to those of you out there that obsessively watch every move that I make, and you also follow my mother-in-law, that's been like in one video of mine, my brother and sister-in-law, my best friends, my cousin Caroline, people that I might mention one time in a video, that's weird, okay? That's totally weird. And then when I have to go in and I have to like be like, who is this person? And then I find out where you work and your husband works and all this kind of stuff, it's kind of like, I don't know, like, you have pretty Christmas decorations in your house, and you have nice cats and things like that, but it's a little too much. Like, take care of your own life, you know what I mean? But anyway, I don't need to boost posts, because I don't need any more of those people over there. But I appreciate the people that I do have, because a lot of you send me pictures of, like, you know, your dog's watching my videos, and that's really sweet and stuff like that. And, like, pictures of, like, you know, squirrels and whatever. But some of it's like, no, I don't think I need to boost my post to those people. I need less, not more of that, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so, but that's what I realized why my Facebook is completely flooded with all these sponsored posts of groups that I could care less about. It's constantly, right? And so I'm like, why am I, so then every once in a while, I'll see these posts on the Facebook, and it'll say like, somebody will be going off about something. And I don't, to be honest with you, I don't even really know what they're going off about, okay? Now, let me, my Facebook is kind of in like 4 or 5 different segments. Is your Facebook like this? Like, I can kind of tell very quickly how I know somebody, okay? Like, my Facebook is kind of divided into, like people I've met through recovery, like all sober people, okay? Or, like, people that I knew from high school, but I don't even have that many of those. But people, like, I would say in my youth, let's say, right? And then, of course, there's, like, family and close friends. But that's, like, I would say, like, I don't have that many family and close friends. So that'd probably be, like, 30 people, you know? And then there's, like, a group of people that, like, I met randomly going out back in the day to, like, bars and stuff like that. And that's probably, like, a good part of it. Or their spouses, or their, you know, I don't know, people connected with that. Because I can always tell, like, by the number when I look. It's like, oh, we have 179 mutual friends. I'm like, and I look, and I'm like, oh, I met you out somewhere, right? I don't know you, but I met you out somewhere. And in 5 minutes of us having a conversation, we decided that we needed to be Facebook friends for life, which is ridiculous, right? I mean, it is. It's like, oh my God, do you remember those days? And you'd be like, are you on Facebook? Yeah, are you? I mean, yeah, okay, like, you should find me on Facebook. And you literally talked to the bar for 5 minutes. And now it's 15, 16 years later, and I don't even know who you are. And I have to look up our mutual friends and pictures of you, and I still can't remember, like, how I know you. And I'm like, how do I know this person? And then at 4 o'clock in the morning, because you're not just, like, hanging out in a bar having fun anymore, you're, like, bitter because life has not gone your way. And so you're writing some bitter-ass post about some bullshit about banning some business, okay, like White Castles or something like that, because they're building next to a road that is too busy or something, and you're like, and if you don't agree with me, unfriend me. And I'm like, I don't even know who you are or how we met. Yes, of course I'm going to unfriend you. Please do not tell me to unfriend you. Don't ever, anybody, if you want to stay my friend on Facebook, please don't ever put in a post, unfriend me because you're going to get unfriended. If I don't know who you are, and I don't know who 99% of the people are on Facebook. I don't know who they are. I don't even know how I met you. I don't even know how we became friends on Facebook. I literally roll through Facebook. I'm like, who is this person? Who is this person? Who is... I'm like, why am I friends with this person? I don't know. You know, it's like, then I'll go to I'll see some guy and he'll post something and I'll be like, how do I know this person? I'll go and it'll be like 300 mutual friends. I'm like, oh, he's gay. All these people are gay. Like, this is part of the gay community of Indianapolis that I all know, you know? And it's like, how do I know these people? I don't know these people, you know? Because we met at a RuPaul concert, you know, in 2004. I don't know you. And yet I have continued to have to read your shit. And you've had to read mine, which I never post. I don't ever post on Facebook. See, this is a rant, okay, right here. Do you want another diet squirt? So don't ever tell me to unfollow you off of the Facebook or unfriend you off the Facebook because I don't align with your beliefs that we should all ban some White Castle that's next to a road because the road is too busy or some nonsense like that because I don't even understand what you're talking about to begin with. And I don't even know who you are, and we only have at this point like 20 mutual friends that live around the world, and I don't even know who they are. So why would I care enough about your post to keep you as a friend? And you probably don't even care that I stay as your friend either because you're telling everybody to unfriend you. And I don't know who you are. But to everybody else out there, please don't unfollow me because I really appreciate it, okay? Please don't unfollow me. But I'm not going to keep somebody as a friend. I don't know who they are, right? So why would I do it? Anyway, and it's like social media, I'm looking at this and it's like, it's all just a business these days, right? It's like, you know, okay, it's like when you talk to other like YouTubers on the phone, I mean, there's like 4 or 5 out there that I would say are like very, you know, real and stuff like that. And, but when I talk to people, it's just like, and I very rarely ever talk to some people on the phone and stuff like that. I think the last person I texted was Zachary Michael. So, hey, Zachary Michael, how are you? About Dragula. We were talking about Dragula. But, you know, it's interesting to me because when you talk to people today, it's like this has kind of changed, actually, from when I first got on YouTube. Now, today, it's like everybody is like, oh, I'm a digital creator. I'm a content creator. You know, I'm an influencer. What do you do for a living? Social media. What does that mean? You do social media. You live on Facebook and you check in and you add pictures of your... What does that mean? I don't know what that means. You know, what does that mean? You have an Etsy shop? I don't know what that means. I don't even use those words. I use them in videos because it helps other people understand. I use words like influencer or whatever. But like, I think they're phony ass words. I don't like them. When people ask me what I do, like I don't even like to say I make videos on YouTube. But when people push me, I mean, when people ask me, they're like, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I used to forever, you know what I used to say? I used to say I check meters, like, you know, parking meters, because it just was, people be like, oh, really? They have, like, no interest. I think it's so weird that we live in a world, anyway, where we're defined by what we do as a living, you know, or for a living. I had a friend of mine years ago, he's like, that's why I love to go to Europe, because in Europe, they don't ever ask you that question. He's like, when you go to Europe, people will say things to you, like, when you meet them, like, what kind of music do you like? Like, what's your favorite artist? Like, things like that. Like, what kind of food do you like? They don't define themselves by what they do for a living. He's like, in the United States, we are such like a money-driven society that we define ourselves by what do you do for a living. He's like, it's such a boring question. It says nothing about you. So when people ask me what do I do for a living, I do not like to tell them that I make YouTube videos because most people, it's not like people are like, oh my God, I know it. I mean, nobody knows who I am. Why should they? Why would they? You know? And I probably already unfriended most of them off of Facebook anyway because I didn't know who they were. But anyway, so, you know, it's like, I always tell people, like, finally I'll be like, I make videos on YouTube. And they're like, what kind of videos do you make? Like instructional videos? And I think that they like always imagine me making videos of like tying bow ties. Like my video is called like how to tie a bow tie, you know? Or because they know that I'm not doing like how to like nail something in a wall. I mean, I know how to nail something, but to a wall, but not in a wall. But you know what I'm saying? Like those kind of, I think they think that I'm making those kind of videos. And then it's like, what's so interesting to me about it is like when like, okay, husbands of my girlfriends, they always ask me when they find out I make YouTube videos, they're like, so, this is the #1 question I always get asked by husbands. They're like, so, how do you make money off? And I'm like, oh, here we are, back again about money. Why is it always about money? How do you make money off those videos? Like, you know, AdSense ads, like, how do you make money off? And I'm like, this is so weird. Like, why is that always the go-to question, you know? But then people always want to make money. So people are always boosting things and boosting posts and sponsored posts. And it's all because you got what? One viral TikTok because your sister fell down on a wet floor that you just mopped, and you think you're going to build a career off of that because you got one funny TikTok. Do you know how many people have funny TikToks? Don't build your career off of one funny TikTok, okay? Trust me, I've been doing this for 8 years and I'm still not that great at it, okay? I'm still not. If I was, I'd be sitting at 10 million subscribers. You know? Oh my God, my tripod fell right as I was getting into it. But don't start a career off of one viral TikTok. Just don't, okay? It's just, it's not going to end pretty for you or anybody else in your family. I mean, it's like, you know, people get like one viral TikTok, like I said, you know, because they like, I don't know, deep throat a banana or something and they think it's real funny. And then they're like, you know, making merch off of them, like the picture of them deep throating a banana. And then they're, you know, they have one viral TikTok and they're moving to LA and they're calling all their friends and they didn't quit their job. And, you know, it's like they gave up their pension and they're like, but I'm going to be a content creator now. And I'm like, what does that mean? You're just going to deep throat bananas and fruit for the rest of your life? We have something that's called porn. Are you starting to OnlyFans? Because if you're not going to start an OnlyFans, okay? People aren't going to continue to watch TikToks of people just deep throating weird objects and fruit for the rest of their life. They don't care. It was funny one time, okay? And it was probably funny because of you. It probably wasn't funny because of what you were doing, but now you've ran out of ideas. You know, quit your job, giving away your pension, your insurance, and everything. You're living in a shit apartment in LA, and all you have is the fact that you call yourself a content creator. What does that mean? You do social media for a living. What does that mean? You live on Instagram? So does half the world. They don't call it a job. And I know I call this a job. And I know I live online. I get it. I get it. The hypocrisy of it all. I know. But, you know, that brings me back to the fact that we live online too much. Y'all are on your phones too much. I am too, though. I am, you know. Like Google. Oh, my God. I love the Google so much. I would be on the Google all the time. I think, like, people spend time, like, do people even play that Candy Crush all the time? My husband, he played that game Township for years, and then one day he just kind of stopped. I was like a month had gone by, and I was like, he's not playing that game anymore. And I said, do you play Township anymore? He's like, I got tired of that game. You know, people are always playing the games online. They're constantly, like, you know, on the Instagram and the Twitter and all that kind of stuff. I just don't have time for it. I got too many TV shows to watch. I got too many TV shows to watch and too many TV shows to binge. But I can tell you, I love the Google because, you know, you can find out anything that you wanted to know in the Google. Like, no, true story, you can. Like, you can literally Google anything. Like, let me just come up with something right now. I mean, I bet if I Googled something where I was just, you know, talking about fruit. Like, I bet if I Googled something like, do oranges have souls? I mean, I bet you anything there's been an article written about that. And then that article, let's look it up. Okay, do orange, hold on a second, autocorrect. Do oranges, why does haha always autocorrect to Gaga in my phone? It's not like I'm typing Lady Gaga to so many people. Do oranges have souls? I swear to God, if this poll is up something, and then it'll lead me down another rabbit hole. Hold on a second. Oh, and now this whole AI thing. Can we just talk about this AI thing on the Google? That's ruined the Google. I know you can't see it. The AI overview. Oranges don't have souls, but they are considered to be important for supporting the vital energy of the body, mind, and soul in some cultures. In Japanese culture, this vital energy is known as ki, or kai, and in Chinese culture, it's known as ki. Okay, oranges are a good source of, okay, now I want to know, do all foods have a soul? Okay. Do oranges have energy? Do all animals have soul? See, I think that. I think that all animals have soul. Are some okay to eat? That's from Astral Projections. Oranges for body and soul. I mean, you could go down a rabbit hole about all this. And then you could ask yourself, do blueberries have souls? Blueberries have souls. You know, I want to see what the a-hole AI. Soil test before you plant blueberries. That's not what I ask. I ask, what kind of soil do blueberries like? Soul? It literally says S-O-U-L. What kind of soul do blueberries like? Now, I know I mispronounce shit wrong, and I live in Indiana, but I have a southern accent, but I'm pretty sure that you do not mean soul, you mean soil. Do people in Arkansas pronounce soil soul? I'm going to start saying that. What is this? The Blues Brothers. I said blueberry. Official fruit battlegrounds. What is this? Blueberries got their own Wikipedia page. Eat blueberries. Do all foods have a soul? Here, it brought me right back to that same place. See? Will the circle be unbroken? Anyway, I think that was the last song they sang in that Plath thing. Anyway, what I'm really trying to say is, don't go to Epcot Center because it'll ruin your future. Okay? And I'm also trying to say, don't be on your phone too much. Just get a steno pad. I'm trying to look at my notes. But, you know, yeah, don't do those things. And also, I miss cassette tapes. Do you remember cassette tapes? Oh my God. I keep all my cassette tapes because, like, vinyl came back and then vinyl was worth a lot. So I'm like, if I get rid of my cassette tapes and the cassette tapes come back, will they be worth a lot? So I don't really want to get rid of them. But I literally have, like, Barry Manilow cassette tapes from, like, when I was in 7th grade. But do you remember when, like, cassette tapes would get, like, this is, like, when I was in high school. And, like, your friend would be like, oh my God, do you have that 10,000 Maniacs? Oh my God, why did I just pull that name out? Natalie Merchant. I loved her so much. But anyway, do you have that 10,000 Maniacs tape? And your friend's, like, digging through all your tapes in the back seat, you know? And she pulls out the one and it's got the tape. And then you have to, like, you pull over and you and your friends are, like, going through with a pencil. And do you remember that? But a pen would work better because a pen you could put through into the other side with the cap and then it would, like, go like that. Do you guys remember that? I miss those days so much. Those were the days, my friends. So anyway, but I miss that. But you know what? Speaking of technology, because we're talking about cell phones, or everythings, if you refer to these as everythings. But speaking of technology, last night, no, true story, I was brushing my teeth, and I had the cap in my hand, and then I turned, and the cap fell down our drain, and I was like, oh shit, because now the cap on the tube of toothpaste is down the drain. But you know what? I rescued it with a pair of scissors. I did, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so technological. And I told my husband, and I said, guess what? I'm so technological. And he goes, what did you do? And I said, well, the cap of toothpaste, aren't you ever proud of yourself in these moments? I know people are going to live for this one. This is like, all the haters are going to come for this one, but I don't really care because I think it's kind of funny. But anyway, so I said to my husband, aren't you like really proud of yourself at moments like this? I am. And I said, oh my God, like I am so technological. And he said, how are you technological? And I said, well, it's basically MacGyver, okay? Because I was brushing my teeth, and then the cap went down the drain, and like because we don't have a drain stopper in that drain, and so I said, but I took the pair of like the small scissors, and I like after the water stopped, it was just like sitting there, and so I went down in the drain and I pulled it out, kind of like MacGyver. And he goes, it's not technological, and I do that all the time. And I was just like, what? He goes, it's not technological, and I do it all the time. He goes, there's a stopper underneath there. He goes, so it won't go all the way down in the drain. He goes, all you have to do is pull it out with like the scissors, or you can like, you know, pull it out. I was like, he goes, sometimes I even use like a nail file. I go, a nail file? I go, oh no, I had to like go down there like Big Brother did the other day when he goes, no, you could have just used a nail file. It's real easy. I do it all the time. I was like, you have literally ruined my night. Okay. Because I was all like, I'm technological. Anyway, the moral of the story is, this is really good lip balm, by the way, this Nivea. So thank you, Jazz, for this. But the moral of the story is, stay off your phone. You're on your phone too much. You are. Some of you, like, I think have some issues, okay? I probably have some issues, too. I mean, I know I have issues. I have lots of issues. But some of you need, the moral of the story is this, okay? The moral of the story is stay off your phone. But if you're not going to stay off your phone, then I think that I've posted at this point like 10,000 videos on all of my 7 channels. So if you're not going to stay off your phone, go watch my videos, because I'm a content creator. My job is social media. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Well, I'm not going to see you tomorrow because I'm taking tomorrow and Sunday off from this channel, so I will see you on Monday. Bye.